This is Hoi An on Vietnam's central coast. And in this rusty compass snapshot, we're going to take a look at the magic of this lovely old trading town and see how it's become one of Asia's most popular travel destinations. Hoi An is one of Vietnam's gems. It's a wonderful combination of history and atmosphere, great food and shopping, and it's not far from some very nice beaches either. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Hoi An was one of Asia's leading ports, until silt made this river unnavigable. Chinese and Japanese merchants dominated the scene, and an annual spring fair with their silk, porcelain, exotic cures and other wares. The Europeans travelled here also to showcase their textiles and weapons. Treasure for trade was not all that the Europeans brought to Hoi An. French Jesuit Alexandre de Rhodes was one of the first Christian missionaries in Vietnam. And he wasn't content to simply proselytise. A gifted linguist, de Rhodes set about transforming the Vietnamese written language from its Chinese character base to a Latin-based form, which is what we now see everywhere as the Vietnamese written language. Pronunciation may still prove a struggle for Western travellers, but the Vietnamese script is very familiar to us. It's the wonderfully preserved vestiges of Hoi An's days as a major trading port that saw it designated a World Heritage Site in 1999. And travellers have been flocking to the place ever since. You're literally surrounded by heritage buildings in these old streets. And if you want a closer look, a handful of old houses, pagodas and Chinese assembly halls have been preserved and stand pretty much as they did during Hoi An's heyday. Duc An's house with its eccentric owner Mr. Cham is a favourite. This house dates from the mid-19th century, but Mr. Cham's forebears have lived on this spot since the 17th century. During the 20th century, Duc An's house also served as a centre of Viet Cong activity in and around Hoi An. Here, the house's former patriarch, Cao Hom Latin, is honoured by Vietnam's most celebrated general, Vo Nguyen Giáp, for his heroism in 2 wars against French and American foes. Happily, Hoi An was largely spared the ravages of war. Hoi An's once brimming trading communities from across China's east coast built these assembly halls as places of worship and gathering. This is where Hoi An's Fujianese community once assembled. And the Cantonese community assembled here. Japanese merchants also arrived here in good number, and they built this bridge across a small canal that now stands as a symbol of Hoi An. Not far away, Hoi An's market still feels remarkably local and authentic.
Biết xoài này, xoài biết, xoài ở đây rất
xoài
ngon.
ngon ghê lắm. Để em nấu là 5 ngày.
Này.
And there are plenty of other traces of a living old town. This barber shop has been operated by one family since the 1950s. As has this chicken rice stall a few blocks back from the river. One of the best things about being in Hoi An is that you can go easy on the environment and spend all of your time here on foot or bicycle. It's only a small place, so getting around on a bike is easy and fun. Even the beach is easily accessed by bike. There are some great bicycle roads close by town too. Cham Island is a short, fun-filled ferry ride from Hoi An centre, and its cycling paths through lush rice fields are a great place to spend a late summer afternoon. There are very few cars as well, so it's a lot safer for cycling than most roads in Vietnam. And the late afternoon boat trip back is spectacular. Hoi An's beaches are some of Vietnam's best, so it's great to be able to break up your historical exploration with some relaxed time by the ocean. Don't forget though, the beach is really only enticing during the summer months, from around March to September. "27 kilometres off Hoi An is Cham Island, a pristine spot for snorkelers, divers and beach lovers. The forest-covered island can easily be visited for a day from Hoi An. Vietnam's record for preserving its stunning coastline is mixed at best. Let's hope this spectacular spot survives. Shopping is another thing that keeps travellers plenty busy in Hoi An. A handful of tailors have become seriously wealthy in the last decade, fitting foreigners in suits, shirts and dresses. There are plenty of bargains to be had, but don't get swept up in the excitement of it all. Check those prices carefully and check the quality of the work. Hoi An's also a great place to eat. The local noodle specialty, cao lau, is light and very tasty. Plenty of travellers also get a closer look at Vietnamese cuisine by taking a cooking class here. Some of Vietnam's best cooking classes happen in Hoi An. Close by Hoi An is Vietnam's most important ancient ruin and another World Heritage Site, the temples of My Sơn. The ethnic Cham people dominated what is now southern Vietnam and parts of Cambodia until the southward thrust of the Viet people overran their territory from the 15th century. The Hindu temples at My Sơn were built between the 4th and the 14th century and were the holiest temples in the Cham kingdom. They were extensively damaged by US bombing during the Vietnam War. Hoi An's summer sunsets can be quite a spectacle, both on the water and from the town. And as the sun goes down, Hoi An's great little eateries and bars sit well alongside the laid-back heritage vibe of the place. You'll have no difficulty spending a summer week in Hoi An if you love old atmospheric towns, cycling, good food, the beach and a spot of shopping. This is Mark Bowyer in Hoi An for Rusty Compass.